So when Ganguly and Sehwag will come out to bat under lights, that's the target they're looking at. 325 runs to win at 6.50 runs per over.
Runchase Sarwan, one short of his 100. We're back live now. Ganguly on strike. He's got an outstanding record in one-day internationals, as does this man. Strike rate of 126.5. And the last innings in Rajkot was simply brilliant. So Dylan on his way. Well, these two added 196 for the first wicket in Rajkot. They'll need a similar performance. Dylan, on the other hand, would want to get that economy rate down. That's an area he likes. It was almost a one-handed push, but he starts off with a boundary. That's a lovely delivery. Bang on target. Sehwag has no answer. And India have lost their first wicket. And that is a cracking ball from Dylan. Jumped from a length and surprised the little man.
Good bouncer. That's the direction in which you want the ball going. Certainly don't want anything outside the off stump. Well directed bouncer. Just about shoulder height. The first wicket for the West Indies. It's 5 for 1.
Lakshman, who played well in Nagpur, getting 99. Well, he's on strike now to Dylan. Dylan with his tail up. And again, generating some pace. Again, bounce off a length. Situations under control, apart from making the good decisions. That's well played. First boundary for the Indian captain.
And of course he'll be that slip fielder, doesn't want to be running around the outfield. So Ganguly needs one of those big scores, one of those triple figure scores.
Well, Ganguly looking to improvise and gets it away. Just pulled back inside. Chandrapal. Ganguly will get 3. In fact, it was Runchase Sarwan who pulled it back.
Runs. Quite a few more balls already bowled.
That's in the air. There is third man. And I just get the feeling he might have touched the rope. The catch has been taken. We'll have to take another look. The fielder in the deep is celebrating, but has the foot touched the line? That's the question to be asked. Vaspert Drakes is confident, but the third umpire has been called for.
Well, he seems quite convinced that he didn't touch the rope, but he seemed to look back quite quickly. This is interesting. He has touched it.
There's no doubt about it. And as a fielder, he would have felt it. That's the correct decision. 6 signal.
Well, that is something I just cannot understand, something I cannot accept. He must have known he stepped on it. There are no two ways about that. Why claim the catch if you know that you have stepped on it? It's the same thing like claiming a catch if the ball has bounced. I don't agree with that sort of cricket at all. That's bad cricket. And they are booing. I can't blame them for booing.
Yes, and it was a hard step on the rope. It wasn't as if he was just touching it. He was stepping on it with his entire body weight, and he would have felt it. It was straight down his throat. He takes it, and that's when he touches it, and he would have felt it.
Mervyn Dillon is having a chat with umpire Ashoka De Silva. Not too sure why, because umpire Ashoka De Silva has referred it to the third umpire. Still no fine leg.
That's a lovely shot. The finger goes up. That is a good catch by Ridley Jacobs. A good decision by umpire Hariharan. He was off in a flash there, lifting the finger.
Was very disappointed immediately. It's 45 for 2.
India 45 for 2, and in the commentary box, Sanjay Majreka and Ian Bishop, and for our DD National viewers, Arun Lal and Mohinder Singh.
It's gone for the pull, it's gone over the wicketkeeper's head for a boundary for Rahul Dravid. 4 singles in his 8, it is the 1 boundary.
Yes, he takes a while to give the strike back, doesn't he, VVS Laxman? Especially at the beginning of his innings, he isn't very good at rotating the strike. That's Laxman, levelling out towards the middle of the innings and then going up towards the end.
And again the pull shot, this time finer. 2 boundaries in the over for VVS Laxman. A flatter 1 bounce throw would have done it.
Oh, Sanjay, I think you're being kind. I don't care which route you take, 1 bounce, aerial. I mean, look at this. Look at where Dravid is. He's almost standing next to Laxman. Very, very mind-boggling.
And I think he's edged it. The field is excited, they're celebrating, but Hariharan just has a stare to offer to the West Indians. But Dravid responds with a spanking boundary on the offside, brings the crowd alive yet again. 12 overs gone, 73 for 2.
That's excellent timing. That's when Lakshman is at his best, hitting on the up and making it look easy.
Thank you, Ravi. Well, India aren't doing too badly at the moment. At one point, the batsmen seem to be looking to try and get a lot of boundaries. Not too sure why they would want to be risking their arms at this point. There are enough singles around. They need 6.6 runs per over at the moment. That's an easy single, and that's a half century for VVS Laxman.
And it's an important one too. He's got to carry on from here. Somebody's got to plant themselves on one end, but at the moment, 21 overs comparison, they were 10 runs ahead.
That's a big blow. How far has it got? Just falling short of Ryan Hines. He gets 4 for it.
So Lakshman has taken it upon himself to bring that boundary every over. A very brave attempt by Ryan Hines there. 57 from 57 deliveries, Lakshman. 39 from 60, Dravid.
A bit of confusion again. Again, the throw isn't the best. Lakshman heading towards what he hopes will be 3 figures. Ricardo Powell with good work, and he's gone. Very good work that by Ricardo Powell again. They should have known that's not the man we're running singles to.
Well, this is pretty inexplicable. You just never saw either of the batsmen actually commit himself to the run, and yet they were just ambling past each other, not calling, not saying no, just take a look. At no stage did either of them want to really run. Very, very fine breakthrough now. This was bound to happen. There were a number of occasions when there were these hesitancies. 66 to Lakshman, 148 now for 3 India. The time when he had no choices. That's the question mark. He hasn't had much to do in the series. Couldn't have a lot of confidence at the moment. And he has a lot of work to do in this innings.
The ball upset.
Every batsman needs time out there in the middle to feel good. So he will take a while to settle. He mustn't be in a hurry, because if India were to lose a wicket now, that would really be disaster.
No ball again. And that brings up the 150 for India. This could be a close call again. That's it. They'll be asking, and he's asking for the replay. What will the third umpire decide, or what will he see?
From the impression that you get from the fielders that he probably reached, the body language of the West Indians suggests that he may have reached. Yes, indeed.
Yes, there didn't seem to be any excitement there from the fielders at all. They seemed quite happy to acknowledge that he had gotten in. It's 152 for 3.
But I think Rahul Dravid will prefer this situation. As we said earlier, he's been consistent and effective as a one-day batsman purely because he's run well in this series. That is something that he wasn't quite able to do with VVS Lakshman. Wide signal by Ashoka De Silva, but with Yuvraj Singh on strike, he will flourish better in the company of Yuvraj Singh purely because Yuvraj Singh is capable of running quickly between wickets. Should be another wide this time. There is an appeal, a polite inquiry by Nagamutu. He's an exceptional one-day batsman, Yuvraj Singh. In a shortish one-day career, he's played quite a few memorable match-winning innings for India. Hasn't had too much batting in this series. Just wide of point, and some work for the sweeper cover. 2 more runs to Dravid. And the situation actually is helping Yuvraj Singh, as you said, easing into the match or easing into his innings. There's not too much pressure on the batsman at the moment. Both spinners just struggling with the wet ball, struggling to get their own line right, stop the extras. He's made some important contributions in his one-day career. 98, 84, 80, 75, 69. All those innings were important innings, and more often than not, it got India to win matches.
Yes, but he hasn't got that 100 yet, has he? And that's something that he will be aiming at. But he bats relatively low in the order when you think about the batsmen who come ahead of him: Dravid, Tendulkar, Sehwag, Ganguly. He won't be getting too much batting in too many internationals, but he scores quickly. Best of 98.
Well, I don't think we should worry too much about him not getting the hundreds. Free-flowing drive on the offside, so the shots are now beginning to come for Yuvraj Singh. Putting pressure on the fielder to pick up 2.
Carl Hooper has positioned himself into that slip position. Saurav Ganguly took a toll on Melvin Dillon. 5 balls and went for above 20 runs.
He's just sort of eased that ball onto the leg side. Not a good delivery, but a good shot.
I think he'll just finish the spell and leave the field, Dylan. He's just looking to finish these overs off. That's a big hit. This is where he's dangerous. That is a massive blow into the crowd. A shift in the air and taken. That is a lucky break for the West Indies. And what a wicket and at what a time for the West Indies. India lose their fourth.
That's why Mervyn Dillon was brought back into the attack. The West Indies need to take wickets. Been a bit expensive, but the wicket is important. It's 209 for 4.
Mohammad Khaif comes out to the middle. Nagamutu continuing. And India have lost an important wicket, that of Yuvraj. So a new partnership out at the crease. This is how Yuvraj went, looking to chip it over the infield, only managing to find Hooper. Again, you can see just not quite getting the elevation he was looking for. But the West Indies will take that. Now is the chance for Nagamutu to try and string in a few good overs, because you've got a new man at the crease. He would want to take his time, Kev.
And Rahul Dravid has to be a bit careful now as well.
I just believe they can get it. Now that's a very good shot. Inside out, over extra cover. Dravid finds the boundary.
That's the 4 ball.
That's a simple catch. The bouncer has done the trick. Again going for the big one over mid-on and only top edging it. So West Indies pick up another wicket. India 5 down.
That one got a bit big on him, Mohammad Khaif. That's why he was unable to control that pull shot. Well, Ricardo Powell has been fielding so well, I don't think anyone expected him to drop that. It's 231 for 5.
Drake's on his way. Bangar has come out to the crease. Carl Hooper has left the field. Ridley Jacobs is captaining the side. So plenty on the injured list for the West Indies.
Well, Harry, he's got one wrong.
That's one problem the umpires face when they're looking at the no ball and then they have to look at what's happening in front.
He squirted that away very well. He does favour the offside very much. Sanjay Banga made room for himself and found the gap well.
11 balls, 3 boundaries. That's good going for Sanjay Bangar. He's been lucky.
It's been a good over for India. End of the over, 255 for 5. The same colour as the pitch, and quite rightly the umpires have elected to have it changed. And Carl Hooper now continues. And that's in the air. Someone's getting under it, and he doesn't get there. Looks like Corey Collymore, one of the substitute fieldsmen on for Ryan Hines. Well, so much depends here on Rahul Dravid. He's elected to play something of an anchor role. No doubt about that. Placed very, very well by Dravid. What an innings he is playing for his team. They're celebrating in the aisles.
Really looking forward.
Spare us the details, Danny. Spare us the details. Sanjay Bangar on strike has been a revelation. And he's gloved it to Ridley Jacobs, just out of his reach. A great delivery coming out of the blue.
Sanjay, you were just mentioning how difficult it is.
With the contribution of Sanjay Bangar, 45 and 33 balls. And more to come. That's gone very quickly to third man. That's his 50, Sanjay Bangar. The crowd is delirious. And Sanjay Bangar is a low-profile cricketer, not very expressive, but I'm sure he is equally happy. And his first 50 in one-day cricket is just getting predictable for the Indian batsman. Dravid on 98. Well, he's going to get his 100 here. Comfortable too. And that's 100 for Rahul Dravid. One of the more important one-day hundreds. And he knows it.
Crowd on their feet, and so they should be. 100 off 119 balls, not a six. It's been pretty much all along the carpet. Simply outstanding. And again, he just looks to play the simple shot down the ground. Bunga wanted 2, but you see, we've already got 3 off the over, going so comfortably.
23 extras for West Indies. And it just seems like Karl Hooper has given up. That last delivery was just bowled casually by Karl Hooper for Dravid to pick up another boundary. And of course, this pivotal partnership of 92 now of 64 balls between Dravid and Bangar.
Extremely frustrated faces out there. They've posted 324 and they cannot defend it here tonight in Ahmedabad. Disappointment all over Ridley Jacobs, but elation all over the crowd.
There we have a couple of more runs. And Rahul Dravid making sure that Sanjay Bangar doesn't take it too easy. He got the younger partner to get to the other end to complete the formality of 2 runs and register the score 325 for 5 in the scorebook, which means that this is the 3rd best run chase ever in one-day cricket, with 5 wickets in hand. So again, batting totally dominating the bowling here in this series yet again. We nearly had a team batting first and winning. It wasn't to be. And the hero of the day, Rahul Dravid.
And they back themselves. And Saurav Ganguly, he said it before, he loves to win the toss, get in there and chase the score, and they've done it again tonight.
And what is noticeable is Saurav Ganguly, Virendra Sehwag, the big guns went early. VVS Lakshman played an important innings. Rahul Dravid was the big man for India, and 325 for 5 is a performance to be proud of. Just the 6 bowlers used by West Indies, and they all had problems. Look at the economy rates of all the bowlers. Nobody around 5, and that was the difference between India and West Indies, where India had 2 spinners who did a fine job. Chris Gale, 1 over for 15 runs, and that was it. 13 no balls hurt West Indies. 324 was a winning total, and it looked like they would get there when they got Sehwag and Ganguly early, but Dravid and Lakshman and Bangar had some other plans. 325 for 5 with 16 balls to spare, and India win this 4th one-day international by 5 wickets.